So we are making Capunti pasta with a golden cherry tomato sauce. This is actually a recipe I made on the Food Network Kitchen app, and this is something I was trying to think of something to make without any meat in it today. So this is where I went, and I wanted to do some fresh pasta. And I don't have a sheeter that attaches to the KitchenAid, and I don't have one of those big things to roll out fresh pasta dough. So we're gonna make our own fresh pasta dough. I already made the dough. I'm almost done rolling it all out because you guys don't want to see that. First, we're gonna get our cherry tomato sauce on. It cooks pretty quick. So I have a pan going right here. I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter. That's gonna melt down. And before we started this, I cut up some onions and garlic. And this is a really great recipe to use if you have cherry tomatoes right now. They're just starting to get into season, so they have a lot of nice sweetness going on. So this is really a fun way to use them up if you're sick of eating them fresh in a salad. So we are going to add in, once this is all melted, an onion and garlic that we've chopped up. And again, I'm using like more of a high-sided pan here. Melt that down. And we're gonna add in our onions and our garlic. So we want this to cook down. We're gonna kind of babysit this for a second because we wanna add in our cherry tomatoes. Let's stir this all together. Usually I like to cook these onions down until they become translucent, so that's about 2-3 minutes. While this is happening and these onions are cooking down, let's head over to the pasta. So this is called Capunti Pasta. It's a pasta that can be found in Puglia, which is a region in Italy. This pasta dough consists of semolina flour and all-purpose flour. So it's very pliable dough. It's really nice. It's been resting for about 30 minutes, as you can see. Mine's a little wet. But that's okay. I'm just using a little extra semolina flour to roll it out. So the first thing you do when you're making this pasta is you want to roll it into a log, and you don't really want any flour on your board because it's going to stop it from adhering, because you want this dough to sort of adhere to your board, and you want to bring it to about a 1/2 inch thick. Okay. These are like little logs. We're going to put some semolina flour on them. And now, let's roll out our last one. And this recipe is 1 cup of semolina, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and about 3/4 cup of water, warm water. And it makes about 1 pound of pasta dough, so it's enough for about like 1 person. This is also the same dough recipe that I use for orecchietti. It's an eggless pasta dough. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to cut them again to about 1-inch pieces, 1-inch pieces. You can see they kind of stick a little bit. Perfect. So I keep adding that flour. And this is okay. All this pasta that's done already, as you guys can see, I've semolina floured it, so it's just drying out a little bit because it's a little wet. So it's just drying out. It's not sticking together. But this pasta, the name of it actually means pea pod. So you can see it's in the shape of a pea pod. If you were to Google pea pod, that's what it looks like. So 1 inch, get a little more flour on there, 1 inch. We are going to roll this. Normally I have a really cool Italian pasta board, but I don't have that with me. So we're gonna roll this like so into a pea pod. If it gets stuck, that's okay. Just pull it up with your knife. Don't be afraid to add some good pressure to it. And as you can see, it's kind of hollow on the inside. That's a really nice spot where all that sauce is going to get captured. Yeah, so this is what's happening. We want to, as you can see, these are bursting open right here. The skin is bursting open. Really beautiful. That's what we're looking for. So I want to keep that moisture in, and I kind of want to steam these tomatoes open. So I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit, and I'm going to put this lid. I don't have a lid that covers that, but that lid covers it pretty well. To give you guys a recap of what's happening here, I am making a fresh Capunti pasta with a golden cherry tomato sauce. And right now we have our cherry tomatoes that are cooking in a little bit of butter, olive oil, garlic, onion, and they're bursting underneath the lid over there. And we're finishing up our Capunti pasta dough. And we're gonna drop our pasta and finish our sauce and eat. It's very nice when you get in a good rhythm. That's a big guy. These are stuck together. I'm just gonna make that one work. Okay, last few. Okay, we're done. As you can see, this other batch took quite some time. I even had to get cameraman involved. So, we have these right in. They're very delicate. Okay guys, this is what I'm talking about. You see all the liquid that came out of those tomatoes? We now have a beautiful sauce that's being built right now. I'm going to grab basil and some cheese from the fridge. So, just hang out for a second. Cheese. More of the basil. Okay, got it. I'm back. I'm gonna just toss in some fresh basil. I really wanted to get a basil plant, but this is all Fairway had. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. So we're gonna tear our basil. I want this basil to just kind of like melt into this sauce. And we're gonna steam that. Okay, let's drop our pasta. Take a sip of wine. Cameraman's getting very antsy after we eat, that's why. So we're dropping our pasta. The pasta's gonna cook very quickly. That time is incorrect. Ouch. I don't want to get all that semolina in there. A few more. And fresh pasta cooks relatively quickly. The second it's floating, I like to give it like another 30 seconds, and then it's good. This is all nice semolina that we can save. So we have that on high. This looks great. So I'm gonna turn it off. This is looking wonderful. I'm gonna go right to the sink for this. This is the key. When you're making pasta, this is how you make it happen. You're gonna stir it all together, and we wanna release those starches. So we're gonna continue to cook when we go in here. I lost a little dumpling under there. Okay. And I'm going to grab this there. Grab a ladle. That one's not gonna get free. So I'm gonna add in about a half a ladle full of pasta water. And here is the key. I'm gonna finish this with a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon. Where's my towel? A tablespoon of butter. And we're gonna keep cooking this pasta in here. But again, we wanna release those starches of the pasta. And then we're gonna toss. Hopefully cameraman's not getting anything on his shirt. Ow, I am though. We're gonna toss, toss, toss. Put that back on the heat pretty high. It has come together super quickly. We just finished this with butter. We're gonna do a few more flips. And I'm gonna show you how to finish it and take it to simple to spectacular. Okay, so one of my favorite things is burrata, and this burrata is beautiful. It is sitting here in this water, and what burrata is right right before when you're making mozzarella, you have the curd of the mozzarella, and inside the burrata is the actual curd and the cream. So, we're going to plate this. Nice slow pour for you. So, we are going to do this. I'm going to cut this burrata in half. And look how pretty that is. No, it's not that nice. And we are going to put this burrata on top of the pasta. And as you eat it, the point is to stir this cheese into the sauce and into your pasta. It doesn't really even need cheese in my opinion, but we're gonna do it, why not? Just a light dusting. Okay, now it's time to take a bite, my favorite part. I'm gonna grab a little burrata, a little cherry tomato. It's delicious. It's sweet from the cherry tomatoes, and it's got that brightness from the basil, and the creaminess of the burrata just really brings the whole dish together. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight at dinner time. Dinner time took place a little too late tonight, but I will see you tomorrow.